Hey guys, Slysssa here, and I am back for some more info coming out about Rise of the NAGA, which is live on May 10th. It is the new patch for Battlegrounds, and with this new patch is a ton of new things, so I want to go over that today. So in my last video, I talked about the announcement of Rise of NAGA, which came with the new spell, craft, keyword, these new minions that you see here, a new minion type, a new hero. So that was what was announced a few days ago in my last video, which you can check out if you missed it. But we have a lot of new news coming from some content creators. Krip, Educated Colin, Shady Bunny, and Carrie Potter all announced things yesterday and the day before, so I wanted to go over that today. All right, so in Kripparrian's video, he announced the new 5-drop for NAGA, and it is Glowscale. Glowscale reads Taunt, Spellcraft, give a minion Divine Shield until next turn. So this is a 4/6 Taunt minion on tier 5, and you're going to get a spell in your hand every turn to give a minion Divine Shield until the next turn. So this spell, again, will continue to come into your hand until you get rid of this minion. Once this minion's off your board, you will no longer have this spell to use each turn. And also keep in mind, you get to give any minion a Divine Shield until next turn, which means you can give it to a Poison Murloc. You could give it to a Cleave minion. It doesn't have to be a NAGA, so that is another thing to keep in mind with Glowscale. I'm not sure what the Golden Buddy does here. I don't know if because there's no way to double Divine Shield. So I don't know if the golden spell is better or if it's the same. I don't have that information. Sorry. Did I say Golden Buddy? Golden spell. Kripparrian also announced that buddies will be out of Battlegrounds once NAGA are joining. So we will no longer have buddies every turn. Rip buddy meter, rip buddies. Let me know in the comments below what you think about that. I did a poll on Twitter to see how many people are going to miss buddies versus how many people love buddies. And it's quite funny. It's pretty 50-50. Will you miss buddies? Yes, no. Half and half. So let me know below if you're going to miss buddies in this next upcoming meta. Will they bring back Friend of a Friend? I don't think so, because if someone comes into Battlegrounds new and they didn't play in the buddy meta, they will be super confused what the hell Friend of a Friend is doing and what are these minions they're producing. So while Friend of a Friend was super fun, I don't see it coming back. Next up, we have the announcement from Shady Bunny and Educated Collins. They announced this during their podcast. Some more new cards coming with NAGA. And you can see 3 new cards here and a 4th card that looks pretty familiar. And we will talk about that first because Shady Bunny and Educated Collins announced that Amalgadon is out. It will no longer be in Hearthstone Battlegrounds. They are deleting it from the game. So if you are one of those people who hate Amalgadon, you are in luck because it is no longer in Battlegrounds as of May 10th. So let's focus on this right side of the minions, Mantid Queen and Nightmare Amalgam. So Amalgadon out is no longer a 6-drop, but it's kind of being replaced by these 2 cards here. If you recognize this 3-drop Nightmare Amalgam, that means you've been playing Battlegrounds for a very long time. This is one of those original cards that was deleted from the game eventually. Nightmare Amalgam is a tier 3 all minion type minion. And so you can make your own Amalgadon kind of with it. You can add Divine Shield, add Poison. It's like Curator. So this will be back in the game. All right, but the true replacement of Amalgadon is this Mantid Queen, the 6-drop. It is a 5/5 Poison, no minion type. No minion type is important to notice because that means you can't buff it unless it has Taunt, and then you can buff it with the turtle dude. But if it doesn't have Taunt, so there's no way to buff it any other way, or with gems, whatever. Now this is important to understand how this card works. Start of combat. For each of your minion types, gain 5/5, Wind Fury, Divine Shield, or Taunt. So since it's happening during combat, these adapts do not stay. When you go back to the recruitment phase, they will go away. The only thing that stays is Poison. So you always get it to have Poison. But you're not always going to have Wind Fury. You're not always going to have Divine Shield. And you're not always going to have Taunt. It also adapts based on for each minion type you have on board. So if you decide to sell out of minion types and have less minion types on board, you're not going to get as many adapts. So this card is very good if you get to it early. It's good tempo, I would say, but it might fizzle out late game when you can't really tech for it. You can't add Press or Pyrospawn. You can't add Nadina for it. So it's not as good as Amalgadon by any means. I asked the developers why they gave this minion +5 attack, because attack doesn't matter with poison. For one thing, it does help with zap, anti-zap. And the other thing they said was that it fit the card space. There wasn't enough room to type 5 health. So they did 5/5 because there wasn't room. And that's why it has more attack, just for text space issues. It's random what you get every time. I assume it's going to be like Amalgadon, where there's certain things that you can't get more than once. You can't get Divine Shield more than once. You can't get Taunt more than once. You can't get Wind Fury more than once. But anything with stats, you can get more than once. So you could probably get that +5/5 more than one time. And then keep in mind, you could get +5/5 3 times, only get 3 adapts and not get the other 3 things. You just hit the 1 and 4 3 times. So yeah, things with stats you can get more than once, but things that don't come with stats, you cannot get more than once. Also, one last thing about this, there are no plants. That's kind of a big deal because plants could knock Divine Shields. They could win the game because you had more minions on the board if you had more plants. So no plants, rip. One thing I do not know, and I don't have the information now, maybe I'll find out soon, is will Mantid Queen be in all the time or only in with Naga? It's being announced with Naga, but it doesn't have a Naga tag. Is it a neutral? It looks neutral to me, so I would assume it's every game this is in, but I don't have this information to guarantee that to you, so we'll find out soon. All right, let's look at these other 2 minions on the left side. The tier 2 is Deep Sea Angler. Spellcraft, give a minion +3 health and taunt until next turn. So you could think of this card as a 2/5 with taunt, because although it's a 2/2, every turn you get to add 3 extra health, and you can create a taunt. It's fine. It doesn't seem crazy good, but it's fine. Whatever. The last card that was revealed by Educated Collins and Shady Bunny was Eventide Brute. Tier 4 minion. After you cast a spell, gain 1/1. So this doesn't have Spellcraft as a keyword, but it loves Spellcraft cards because every time you cast a spell, you get to gain 1/1. And that is gained during recruitment. Therefore, those stats stick forever. These are lifelong stick stats. This card seems really good with generating size with Naga, so I think it's a really good tier 4 card. Also, keep in mind, if you missed what I said earlier, what spells are. I think I said it in a different video. Spells are Spellcraft cards, gems, bananas, triples, coins. Lots of different types of spells in this game now, so it does not just have to be Spellcraft spells. All right, and the final reveal from yesterday was from Carrie Potter, who revealed 4 new cards and 1 card that is leaving us. Let's talk about the card that's leaving us, and that would be Flat Tusk. Our 6-drop Flat Tusk Quillbore is leaving us, but we do have a new Quillbore to replace her, and it is Dark Gaze Elder. This says, after you spend 4 gold, play a blood gem on 4 friendly Quillbore. So you have to spend 4 gold, and then it plays the blood gem itself on 4 friendly Quillbore. Why did they do this? My understanding is that Flat Tusk had way, way, way too powerful synergy with the Athitha card, the new Athitha 6-drop. There was way too much synergy. It was too busted, so they had to kind of change the way the Flat Tusk worked to make Athitha work. And we're calling Athitha Slysssa. Sure. Another new 1-drop coming is Shell Collector. Battlecry, add a gold coin to your hand. So this is not Spellcraft. You don't get a coin every turn. You just get it on turn 1, which is interesting because that makes it a token. This is considered a token card. Token cards in the early game are minions that cost 3 but sell for 2 and therefore only kind of cost 1. And that's basically what's going on here with this coin. So this is the Naga token card. The next card we have is Wave Rider. Spellcraft, give a minion +1/+1 and Wind Fury until next turn. So this card's pretty cool because you get to give any minion Wind Fury. So minions you want to attack twice would be scaled cleave minions would be pretty cool. Maybe things with divine shield. There's a lot of different options here. So cool card. It is a 2/8 in size. Macaw, if it's big enough. If you give Spore divine shield with the divine shield tier 5 Naga, then you could do it with Spore. The final new card provided to us by Harry Potter is this Corrupted Myrmidon. I think I'm saying this right. I don't know. Myrmidon. Start of combat, double this minion's stats. Golden version is triple this minion's stats. So let's keep this in mind. This is happening during combat, so the stats do not stick. It's not a scale like Gold Grubber where it sticks because it happens at the end of turn, the end of recruitment, and then it keeps adding on, adding. So this is going to always go back to 2/2 and then double or triple and then go back to 2/2 unless you scaled it on your own with things like Mug, Jug, Quillbores, whatever. So you have to scale this on your own. Then it will double and triple, and then it'll come back to that normal size that you scaled it to. All right, that's what I got for you guys today. There are 2 more reveals coming later today. One from Kid Invincible and one from Nina is Noob. So make sure you go check out their channels so you can find out live. If you miss them, I will review them probably tomorrow or the next day. And we should be getting the full patch notes by May 9th is my assumption. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so that you know when my videos go live. It is much appreciated. Have a nice day.
What does that mean?
Size matters, so people can check out what size they are by typing the command size. See if they're chonkers or dinkers or average or growers or showers.